Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome the filmmakers of Boys State, Jesse Moss and Amanda McBaine. And I'd also like to welcome Steven Garza, who is the subject, the memorable subject of this movie. Hello, Steven. How are you?
Hi, Anne. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Excellent. So we're here to talk about a specific scene from this remarkable movie, which of course is set in Texas. And maybe you could fill me in on one thing before we start. How did you guys pick Steven? How did he become part of this movie? He's in this scene, and I want to know where you found him and why he's so important to this film.
Well, I think he kind of picked himself. He's such a singular young man that it was hard not to notice him, even though he wasn't the loudest voice in the room. And so many boys in this particular room where we met him were sort of, they were loud and sort of, I think, trying to cast themselves in this film. And Steven, he has a kind of old soul quality, and I noticed him out of the corner of my eye. I think he just captured our imagination. We didn't think he had a snowball's chance in hell of doing well at Boys State, but we just loved him, and we loved how serious he took politics and his background. So he was kind of our underdog.
I am third oldest. I'm the first one to get past freshman year of high school. I'm on the course to be the first one to graduate from high school. So it's almost like I have to succeed. You know, a parent telling you that they're proud of you is one of the most amazing things you could ever hear in your entire life.
So talk about the scene we're about to go through, and also in a way that'll give you an opportunity to be more specific about what those cameras had to actually accomplish.
The scene that we selected to talk about is really as his campaign is building, and Steven has become, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but he's become the candidate for governor for his party, the Nationalist Party. And there are two parties of Boys State, Federalists and Nationalists. And Steven, this unlikely underdog, is been selected by his party to be their candidate.
Quiet voice in the storm, Steven Garza.
And we're entering the kind of climactic final vote to see if he'll be elected governor. And this scene is really a chance for Steven to talk about his politics, his campaign, how he's chosen to conduct himself at Boys State, which is very different than some of the other boys we meet in the film. And he takes us down to the Texas State Capitol, which is an extraordinary building, and he takes us through the legislative chamber where you see all the boys have taken over, passing bills, first about banning Prius drivers and sort of jokey things, but then actually now they're debating really serious stuff like passing background check bills and things that really matter in people's lives. So it's a chance for us to follow Steven into this space.
But I've had to listen to people who have said things that I've vehemently opposed and disagreed with.
We agree that we do need to try to identify illegal immigrants for their own safety. It's not just for the safety of the nation.
But I listen with an open mind.
So I propose a law to where law enforcement can still use drones out of their line of sight.
There are a lot of people that I've met that have different lives than I have, their upbringing, what issues affect them.
Next thing we know, there were gunshots and everything. It happened in the art hallway.
So concealed carry, I feel, is here to stay, because in my hometown, Rolling Oaks Mall was shot up, but someone with a concealed carry license was able to fight back and win.
People don't like the word compromise, but there's so many things that we've been able to come to agreements upon.
Background checks. This is nonpartisan. We are simply making sure that guns do not fall into the hands of those who will use them to harm other people.
So you used that moment to create this great shot. Tell us, what inspired you guys to film it the way that you did.
The main event was make or break, right? If we did not capture something in that moment, the lightning in the bottle, if it did not exist, we would not have a film. And I think that kind of pressure was new to us, but also kind of wonderful. I mean, it was a new challenge, and we really had to hold on tight, and it was very risky. I think that what is so powerful to me is sort of Steven's initial idea there in the campaign is what he used throughout that entire week, which couldn't have been easy, right, Steven? I mean, you definitely had to listen to a lot of politics you don't agree with.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking about it right now that I follow a lot of conservative media, not because I agree with it, but because it challenges me to see why do you believe what you believe?
The way I wanted to run my campaign was very different from most. I wanted to know what was on your minds and ask you what issues matter to you. I didn't want to run a campaign. I did not want to run a campaign to represent y'all if I didn't know who I was going to represent. I didn't want y'all to sign a bad check with my petition. So I'm really proud of the 30 signatures that I got.
Admittedly, it is not easy. It is very difficult to kind of bite your tongue, and sometimes it gets the better of me where it's just like you're absolutely 100% wrong. But you just kind of have to step back and realize that a message of unity won an election, flipped Georgia, got 80 million votes, and it's kind of getting to know what issues are affecting you that maybe we're ignoring or that we're not thinking about the right way or that we've, haven't addressed properly to make you vote in the way that you did as a person who's, part of a partisan political party.
Well, Steven, I am putting my faith in you to figure this all out. And Amanda and Jesse, thank you for making this movie. Very provocative. I hope everyone sees it. And we're going to wrap this up. Thank you all.
Thanks, Anne.
Thank you, Anne.